The show, folks. All right, 407-774-8255 is the number if you'd like to get in on the conversation tonight. I'm Christopher Hart, along with David Levitt, Mike Bass, and Mike Mecbath. We are in the studio. You can see us on YouTube at Adversaries TV.
Channel.
Lucas Paris, that's General Lucas Paris of the American Adversaries Army, has the Pariscope up and running. If you just go there now on YouTube, just type in Pariscope, P-A-R-I-S, scope, or you can check out the archive at Adversaries TV at your convenience. We were talking about Donald Trump. We got the call from Al, and Al's absolutely right. If we get one of these lightweight Republicans elected, nothing will get done, thanks to the Democrats in the Senate, because there won't be 60 votes on the Republican side. I'll guarantee you that, unless there is some complete washout of the Democratic Party, which is possible but not likely. So the next president's going to have to be able to do what Dr. K says Ronald Reagan did. He says Reagan always... Let me get it here. Reagan always took his issues to the people and got the people to take it through Congress.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, that's what Trump does.
Yeah, with Trump, think about this. I think one of the reasons they're all scared to death of him, he may prosecute some of these people. Because, think of all these department heads like the IRS, hopefully he gets impeached, but, that won't happen. But, all these different departments, all this money that has been lost, all these deals that, there's interaction between the companies and the government, illegally.
And only the government can break their own laws and get away with it.
Right. I believe he would come in there and really put the hammer down and save us, billions upon billions, and maybe scare these scared straight. Right? Mm-hmm. So I can see a lot of people really getting further and further upset if he continues to move along at the top.
Especially, once again, he puts strong people in positions where they can really...
About. He knows good, smart people.
Appointing either Ted Cruz or Trey Gowdy as Attorney General.
I would love it. We'd all love it.
He understands. He may not admit it all the time, but he understands that, a good way to lead is to have people around you that know what the heck they're doing. You know what I mean?
He actually does openly talk about it. And
important.
Yeah, absolutely. For instance, when he's confronted or asked about what should we do about the Islamic State, he says he would find a MacArthur, a Patton.
Right.
They're in our military. In other words, what he's saying is he would find the man who has the plan.
Right.
And he would set him loose.
The man with the plan, the boss with the hot sauce, the skeeter with the skeeter.
Would he ever appoint
what did he just say?
Can you say that on radio? That was Jerry Blunt from Philadelphia 30 years ago. Man with the plan, the boss with the hot sauce, and the skeeter with the heater.
I was going to say, he wouldn't hire, appoint a Hillary Clinton to Secretary of State.
Oh, no.
Because somebody who doesn't have any experience or know what the heck they're doing.
Oh, yeah. I wish we could get somebody to appoint John Bolton as Secretary of State. He would be a fabulous Secretary of State.
Yeah,
amazing guy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
No, I'm not saying but I do like a lot of what he do.
He comes at it with a businessman's mentality, and that is you want to get results. And you find the people who can get you those results. And it's like anybody who runs any business. You want the best people in, for the job. Right. And that's what you look for when you hire people. And so it's, but he has the sales skills that he doesn't need Congress.
He doesn't.
He doesn't need to kowtow to them. He can go over their heads and rally the troops, so to speak.
I'm trying to think of his bumper stickers. What are we going to do? Can't Trump. For this contest coming up, we got to make sure that there's some of those bumper stickers flying our way. Because
we'll see tomorrow night.
Hillary's liar, liar, pantsuit on fire. I think that's going to be strong. That's going to be real strong.
Oh, Lord have mercy on us. All right, the Iranians who are our new friends, and they, by the way, we invited them now. We talked about this on the show a little bit yesterday with Robert Shepard. They've been invited to the table in Syria to help us negotiate the future of Syria. And the IAEA has come out with a report, I guess?
They were talking about a recent inspection, and this was at Pachin where they did most of their nuclear work and where we're not sure what's in the place. And they pointed out that recently they were looking in an area that tests nuclear triggers. And, that's used in nuclear ICBMs and everything else, but bombs.
Sets off the bomb.
Yeah. But
kind of a crucial piece in the whole puzzle there, right?
Well, they found out that, geez, it looked like the nuclear equipment was missing. And they also said that the radioactive footprint was all gone. And the place had been sanitized.
Now, we were told by Mr. Obama and Mr. Kerry that just couldn't happen.
Right. And then you saw the other day on these long-range missiles testings that was a violation, and Obama wants to take that to the UN and let them help us. Is this whole thing insane? I mean, I'm telling you, death marches on. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen this nation do.
It is nuts, and this is it's kind of like the budget deal. The Obama presidency stink is going to last for a while after the guy's gone, right? And unfortunately, this situation in the Middle East is going to last a whole lot longer than through 2017.
And you would wonder, does anybody have the guts to say stop? I mean, this is $150 billion that we're going to give these people that's going to go into the war machine, and guess who's going to become one of the victims? Mm-hmm. We are.
Jimmy Carter left for Ronald Reagan a mess over there, but this is going to be a much bigger mess for somebody to clean up when this thing's over with, because it's going to take us years to recoup our position back in the Middle East.
Yeah, at least, with the exception of Iran, the Middle East was pretty much intact the way Carter found it, the way he left it.
Right.
All right. I mean, you had Afghanistan, but that was Russia's problem. But of the rest of the states, Iran was the only one that kind of rolled over. But a lot of bad things were brewing, and the problems were percolating, so to speak, over there for later presidents to have to deal with. And it didn't take long, did it?
No, it didn't.
No.
Imagine the money we're going to have to put into enhancing our missile defense system. These people are going to be developing the most sophisticated ability to hit us, because that is their goal. So now we got to spend billions or trillions to be able to knock these things out of the sky.
And we're already way, way, way behind the 8 ball on that.
The Pentagon did yesterday announced that they approved Northrop Grumman to build the new long-range stealth.
Yeah, but think how long that's going to take.
Well, at least it's going to be made to deliver thermonuclear weapons. So.
But I believe they'll be, we saw on China's within 1 to 3 years of a first strike capability in the United States. And you just go back to the last couple of days when we ran that ship right across their 12-mile limit, and they were so upset about it. I just wondered if they would have struck our ship, what Obama would have done. And the answer is, Mike, what do you think?
Nothing. He would have done nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And one of the places we're the most vulnerable is our Navy. Our ability to control the seas in the world is one of the main things that's made us a superpower.
Right.
And our Navy is in bad disrepair.
Yeah.
We don't have the ability, to project ourselves out the way we did, and we're not fixing that. We're making it
as bad as it is. Nobody still has a Navy like us, but we need to make it better.
You just have to look at the carrier task forces. I think we have something like 7 or 8 quote-unquote active carrier task forces, but I think only 2 of them are at sea at any given time, and the rest of them are either in port waiting to be assigned, or several of them are constantly being rotated in and out of repair, maintenance.
Right. I mean, didn't they say the Navy actually is down ship-wise, count-wise, to like World War I?
Yeah.
Oh, you talk about putting us in harm's way.
Yeah, and some people say, well, they're much more sophisticated vessels in this day and age. Well, that is true. Yes, it is. But the oceans aren't any smaller, are they?
No.
And it still takes the ship a while to get from point A to point B. Even our best naval vessels still have to transverse that over time.
Yeah, there's no hydroplaning aircraft carriers.
No,
as far as I know.
So the fewer they are, the more spread out that they are, and therefore the less effective of a fighting force that they present.
And people don't realize that our Navy does a lot more than just as a fighting force. They keep the shipping lanes open.
Right.
They allow the economy, they allow the world economy to work because of our Navy. We're the ones that keep that.
They're one of the first lines of defense, and that's what I'm always talking about. I mean, we need to build up that defense.
Right. Strong defense is the best medicine to keep peace in the world. And you're right about the shipping lanes, and that's part of what's going on over there in the South China Sea.
Yeah, I mean, Well, that's
the
where
Chinese are trying to shut off some shipping lanes and
Yeah, they are.
basically,
They're
that's
building
exactly
blackmail people.
But my concern, would they be tempted enough with the, they put in tons of money into building this military. Will they take a chance and do something? I don't know.
Well, the new budget does add $40 billion to the defense budget. And that's at least a start. Unfortunately, it's a drop in the bucket. And
40 billion. You know what? There's they were talking about the new planes. They only cost $606
million each.
Yeah. One plane? Can you imagine when it gets shot out of the air?
Oh yeah.
Well, hopefully they won't get shot out
No,
of the air.
hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah,
but you say, well, they increased it this much. What's that? Good for 20 planes? No.
By the way, they look very much like the B-2 bomber. They haven't been given a designation yet, but the media is calling them a B-3.
And they're stealthy.
But it's stealthy. It'll be able to carry more of a payload and fly longer and farther. So let's see what Craig has to say about China. Craig, thank you for calling.
Yeah, hey, you guys.
Howdy.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about the fact that China is saying that they are ready to go to war with the United States at any time. And there's one other thing that everybody needs to listen to Putin's speech on YouTube. It's 22 minutes long, and that was 9/28 of 2015, Putin's speech to the UN. And what he says in particular is, about 7 minutes in, he says, the people that you are dealing with, us being the United States, are smarter than what you give them credit for, and they're going to double-cross you.
He was saying that to the UN?
Yes.
To the General
about 7
Assembly?
minutes in.
Right. He's starting to sound like the Ayatollah. But yeah, the Chinese, I don't think right now, it's just a lot of bluster. But the problem is they are building up while we're sizing down.